guys. Hello, hello. Okay, so welcome back. I'm super pumped you're here. And this whole month, you guys, like I am going to be digging in with you and challenging you to start thinking about your work life sitch in a little bit of a different way. Okay, so we always talk about and a big thing in culture is to talk about work life balance. Okay. And I even think of, 25 years ago when I was like just getting started in the workforce. And at that time, I didn't have kids. I think Dave and I probably had just started dating. And I started doing some corporate education at the hospital that I was working at. And I used to get up in front of these people. And honestly, I could still see their like eyes rolling in the back of their head at me as I'm talking to them about work life balance. But at the same time, because we were working on like retention for our workplace, right? And so we're talking about work life balance, but at the same time, I'm telling them to like leave their house crap at the door. I was like, if something's going on at home, you leave it at the door. You don't even bring it to work with you. This is what I'm saying, right? Like me and all of my life experience at the time. I mean, at the guys, remember, I always say this to you. Everybody's doing the best they can with their current level of awareness. Okay. This was my level of awareness at that stage of my life. Okay. So here am I, I'm going like, you got to leave it at the door. And maybe your workplace is saying this to you, right? Now that I've had a little bit more life and I'm going like, that's not really how it works. Like it doesn't matter where I am, whether I'm here right now. And guess what? I still have like my kids and Dave and my clients and my dog and like everything's still on my mind. I'm still thinking about it, even though I'm here with you. Imagine that. Okay. So we've got this like, well, I want to be balanced, right? But work life harmony is actually what I want you to lean into. And you're going, what the heck is the difference between harmony and balance? Okay. Balance is something everybody's striving for, but how's that going for you? How's that going? I mean, now been in this whole like life coaching, leadership coaching industry a long time now. And I'm going, everybody's looking for freedom. They're like, I want freedom of money. I want freedom of time. I thought I was balanced and I'm not balanced. Okay. Work life harmony is about integrating your work and your personal life in a way that complements and supports both. Okay. It's not about equal distribution. It's not a work hard, play hard. Because again, I know lots of people that did that for a long time. And again, how did that go? Did you feel balanced like you thought? Right. And we kind of have this like weekend warriors culture going on, especially in North America. I mean, living in Barbados for the last 2 years, completely different culture, right? But I'm back in Canada right now for the summer, and I just like, oh, and I see it. And it's, I mean, Canada, United States, like it's the exact same game that we're playing where we're constantly just like chasing, 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 chasing. Okay. And living in Barbados, totally different way of being, right? And I'm super grateful to have been exposed to it because it even brought my harmony to a whole new level. Okay. It's not about equal distribution where it's like work is on this side of the scale and personal life is on this side of the scale and you're constantly just going, oh, what are we gonna do here? It's about the quality of time spent in each, quality over quantity, okay, and how it aligns with your personal values and goals. Because you can say, well, I work 8 hours a day and then I do this for 8 hours a day. The fact is you can easily say, sure, your life, you get 24 hours in a day. Let's call it 8, 8, and 8, right? 8 for work, 8 for play, or personal life, and 8 for whatever sleep. Sure, whatever it is. But it's like again, just keep, as you're listening, just kind of go like, but how's that going for me? Okay. Do these things align with your personal values and goals? So here I was, like doing all of this corporate education, managing teams, doing all the things. And then I have Isabella. So 12 years ago, I have Izzy. And totally changed the way I started thinking. I was like, oh, dang, like all the things that I thought were important up until now, not so important. And I'm having a lot of fun having her teach me. Like she's one of my greatest teachers. Okay. And what do I want that to look and feel like while I get her for this like short period of time? Like, really, you guys, like we get our kids for like what, 20 years, and then they're like flying the nest, little birdies, right? And in the grand scheme of things, it's like, oh, it's such a short period. Like she's 12 now. And Dave and I talk about, oh, in the next 10 years. And I'm like, Izzy's gone in the next 10 years. Like, what the heck? Like, this is happening too fast, right? But it's just like we put ourselves, I started putting myself in like a totally different bubble. Okay. Work life balance. Like when we say work life balance, it totally implies that there's this like strict division between in time. And it can be really unrealistic and super stressful to maintain. Like it's not sustainable. Okay. And we become weekend warriors, right? Where we're like, work hard during the week, play hard the 2 days a week that we get. What would your life look like? Here's the question. Okay. What would your life look like if you could meld the two together? Okay. Because harmony, it allows that flexibility and that fluidity. Where some days your work might take precedence. Like there's some days, like if I'm creating something, or like there's one day a week for sure where my calendar is wide open and my clients book me in and I'm like call to call to call to call to call to call to call. And then there's other days where my calendar's open this much. And the thing I might do is hop on live or coach one person or whatever that looks like. Okay. I had to make a decision at this stage. And I knew, and again, this isn't for everybody, especially if you're obsessed with what you do. Like if you're listening to this right now and you're going, yes, my work, like the thing that just honestly, it's a perk, the fact that I get to make money off of it. Okay. And you're just like, I'm passionate about it. I love everything about it. Then this whole fluidity, you've probably mastered that because you've given yourself permission to like, and you have a great team that you work with at work. And you're just like, yeah, we all know each other's kids. We all know each other's spouses. We get along really well. I get to work with my besties. Like, if you're living that, then you're probably like, I get what you're saying, right? Like, there's a difference. Okay. For me, I liked my work. I didn't love my work. I liked the organization and I liked the people and I liked everything. And I could have been happy there because I'm more like the grass is greener where you water it sort of gal. Like I've always kind of had that mindset, right? But it wasn't filling me. And I knew it. Okay. And that workplace, that's for some people. And it's nothing like I have a lot of friends that still work there, and that's awesome because they're on purpose with their work. They're on purpose. It gets to be like this symphony of different instruments, right? Work, family, hobbies, right? And they play at different volumes and different times, and they just kind of create this harmonious orchestra. But for most, again, it's about getting on purpose with the work that you're doing, but then also setting standards around what that looks like. Like right just before I hopped on with you guys, I was like painting downstairs with my kids. They're on summer holiday. They wanted to paint. So we were painting. And then I was like, oh, gotta go hang out with my crew. Take a couple calls. I'll be back. That was a decision that I made. The moment that point of like my maternity leave ending and I had to go back to work and I was like I have a decision to make here. Obviously, I've built a lifestyle where I need money circulating through, right? But at that point, money was circulating through my work. So I was like, I got to skill up on how money circulates. So I did. Right. And then, because that's where you guys are like, this sounds great. This sounds really great, Dylan. But like, I need to make money to pay the bills. And I'll just take a vacation or whatever. Like, think about the word vacation. Like, it stems from the word to vacate your life. What if you lived a life that you didn't need a vacation from? What if everything was just this fluid dance? And for me, that looked like eventually selling everything in Canada and moving to Barbados. And we'll live in Barbados until we don't live in Barbados anymore. For you, it's like, you might be going, and I hear this from some people, I wouldn't want to live in Barbados. Awesome. Then don't. If you're living where you want to live and it brings you ultimate joy, then live there. If it doesn't, start using your imagination. We talked about this last month. It's your most brilliant tool, and you have the answers. And you get to set these standards in all areas of your life, your relationships, your finances, your health, your work, your spirituality, like all of these things you get to build out and set standards for, and then start taking action towards them because they don't change themselves. Okay. And so, okay, quick little assessment here for you. Okay. I want you to just even now reflect on how you spend a typical week. Where's your time go? Bring out your calendar and start looking. How do you spend your time? And I want you, let's say we've built a joy meter. Joy meter. It's a sliding scale of 1 to 5, okay? Where 1 is like, meh, like, it was okay. 5 is like, that brought me the most amount of joy I've ever experienced in my whole life. Okay? And I want you to go through your calendar and put like a 1 to 5 around it. Okay? And I want you to consider how satisfied you are with the time you spent in different areas of your life. Did they bring you joy? You don't need to, this isn't a measure of productivity. I know I used to do this all the time. If I didn't get all the things done, it wasn't a productive day. We're not talking productivity, we're talking joy. And not happiness. Happiness is fleeting. Like, oh, I'm happy with you 1 second and I hate you the next. No, joy, like down to your core joy. Even if you're like, oh, well, my parents or my kid or my great aunt is sick right now and we were in the hospital. Okay. How is that joyful? Well, did you have joy? Like, I know when my mom was in the hospital all the time, or when I'm at a hospital appointment with Izzy with her type 1 diabetes, I don't sit in the fact that I'm hanging out in a hospital. I sit in the fact that I'm like spending time with my mom, just sitting there talking. She's in a hospital bed and I'm talking. We're just hanging out. Izzy, the whole drive to her appointment, the drive back, I get to be with her, even if she has to get blood work done and whatever else done. You can find joy in anything, but it's up to you to do that. So seriously, grab your calendar and rate everything on your joy scale. But I want you to think about any areas of tension or stress that you might feel, or if you're like out of alignment. Like, is there something in your calendar that you're like, this is not aligned with my values or my priorities? Ask yourself, how do you currently divide your time between work and personal activities? Or is it fluid? What areas of your life do you feel neglected in? What activities energize you? Which ones drain you? Okay, because when you have this harmony, I'm telling you, this is where people go, "Oh my gosh, you say you were so burnt out." I was burnt out, 100%. Trying to be everything to everyone, trying to like climb the corporate ladder mixed with trying to stay married, mixed with trying to take care of myself, right? So I'm not like eating out 8 days a week and I'm getting a workout in, and then I'm drinking enough water mixed with now I have a baby. And a year and a half later, I had another baby. For me, that looked like I knew because I was really wanted to get on purpose with my service, and my service didn't exist anywhere. So I was like, okay, I got to create it. And so I did. And now over a decade later, it's like you reflect back and I'm going like, oh man, like that's how I went from being like, oh my God. My digestive system was all out of whack. My hormones were all out of whack. I was getting sick all the time. I was just burnt out. I was getting headaches and I was just sick. I was sick. And most of all, I was sick and tired of like my own self. I was just like, I do it with a big smile on my face, but I was even sick and tired of faking it till I was making it. Okay, you get to have this harmony in your life, and it's not about tipping the scales. It's about just fluidity. What does that look like for you? Play around with it. I want you to really think about specific elements that would constitute this harmony in your life. How are you going to bring it in? Okay, grab your calendar. Rate 1 to 5 from meh to awesome. And really identify the things that are sucking the life out of you, because they're literally sucking the life out of you. And if you're not in the Activate membership yet, hop over to the Pursue You app. It's a free app. Okay. And it's literally like having me in your pocket. Like everything I've ever created is in this app. And there's tons of free stuff. Workshops, every live I've ever done. If you're working on your health goals, I've got a whole natural toolkit over there for you. Okay. And then you can also choose your journey. The Activate membership has like challenges. And this month specifically, we are going to be diving into having that work life harmony and creating it. So if you're looking to create it, join me over there. If you're wanting to hang out and get some more one-on-one time, join the 2% Club. We meet every day. You guys, your life gets to be easy and it gets to be fun. You're not designed to just wake up, work for 30 years, and then you get to live the good life. You get to live the good life and serve now. But there's a difference between a job and a service. And you deserve both. Thank you guys. Happy Valentine's